make 35 lakh profit, you can. Otherwise, if you make 35 lakh rupees loss, that means you actually lost 70 lakhs. So in your balance sheet, the way you will work negatively is that my loss is not 35, but my loss is 70. So this is the way you will think. From a strategy perspective, I think these are the key takeaways one can do. The second thing is strategy. I was asking him that how many hours, like we said 3 people for 3 to 4 months is typically what is required. And I would say that's a fair enough time in terms of managing days which you really require to begin. But there are constant checks which you will have to do in terms of risk mitigation while you are implementing a strategy. And you will have to take small calls in unrelated businesses. Like he said, why I wanted him to share his failure. Because these are, though he knows the business, but he still doesn't know the business. He cannot anticipate the whole structure which is required to set it up. And that's where people fail. Like, I will give you an example. Paint. It's a very interesting story. I asked our research director in the United States, PPG, largest paint company in the world. And I said, look, why are you not in the business? I am basically at loss. He said, look, I said, we have the same polymer plant, we have the same pigment dispersion, we have the same mixing equipment, we have the really same. So what is preventing us to become a king company? And it was a very good answer. He says, you deal with basically 5 microns to 50 microns. And the ink fellow deals with 0.2 microns to 3 microns. And I said, we do not understand that. He says, everything changes at that point, right from formulations to this, to that, to that. And he says, we tried, it's not that we did not try, and we realized that it becomes a totally different ballgame. Just see, all raw materials are the same. Just the thinness of the final application. Even the largest paint company did not succeed. So, the fine line in strategy can be so fine. So, all I am trying to bring out the table is that when you are analyzing your businesses, when you are having your passion is definitely very important. But that fine line identification of the business, what are you good at? That's what we can develop. I will give you my own example. Like 1994, I realized that okay, we can do ONGC, we can do water soluble business, we can do detergent business, we can do so many things. We started doing that. And in 2 years, so much of effort, so much of money, so many marketing people, so many nice successes and all that. But we could not translate that into money for the company. And then one day I just sat down and I was just analyzing my whole portfolio and I realized that we were starting to spend less time on our core business and we were on sort of losing all our resources in businesses which were not coming back in developing, and we did not see an end to that. And then I said, look, I am going to cut off all this nonsense. And for the next 5 years, this is the business I make money. I am going to put blinkers on my eyes and I am just going to do it. Even if I see gold out there, I am not going to pick it. If I decide to pick up bronze, I will keep picking up bronze only. I am not picking the gold. And that really did. The moment everything got focused, the moment the whole company strategized itself that we only do this, the whole bottom line changed. Like what he was saying, that every time margin, he kept on now improving. So what he must have done is he must have started focusing on core. He is getting out of the businesses which are not making sense. So strategically, I would say this is one very crucial thing, that you must always run balance sheets on every project. And unless you account for your time, unless you account for the total profitability, unless you decide Means what we call is like in the stock market, you do a stop loss, right? You take a call, but you take a stop loss. In that at this point, the trigger comes to sell. You don't care whether you made how much loss. But there has to be a stop loss. And again in the strategy, you cannot go unlimited. Now again there are success stories where people go to the brink and come back. But there are also people who have gone to the brink and fell into the, which they never could count. So sometimes it's nice to hear stories that every entrepreneur must himself subject himself to extreme risk. My only point which I want to make is, again, what Peter Drucker always says, entrepreneurship is about risk mitigation. If you are not alive, you are not an entrepreneur. Anyway, you are dead. How can you be called an entrepreneur? Right? So it's a very funny thing, but eliminating risk out of the system is the core essence of strategy. Otherwise, the whole strategy has no meaning. Strategy has to be, you need to be creating one-upmanship on your competition. But survival is the most important. So start with survival and then move to say that how can I grow after. Anybody who misses that, that's where the death can happen. So that would be my final sort of summation of strategy and the risk mitigation where we would like to go. Anything else? Done? Is it? Okay, guys, thank you. See you following Thursday, 1st of June.